So, there's a lot of stories on this channel where I talk about me getting suspended and getting detention and getting kicked out of school and moved to a different school. And I've talked about all of it, man. And a lot of it was just me being a dumbass. So I hope you enjoy this. Leave a like on the video if you do, and let's get into it. So today's story time all takes place back in my freshman year of high school. Now in freshman year, I definitely had my fair share of detentions and suspensions, that rhymed, and it just, stuff like that, right? I was definitely not the best student, but I will say one thing about freshman year, okay? I didn't really have that many problems with people, right? Like I'd say for the most part, I got along with almost everybody. In general, I'm not a very difficult person to get along with, in my opinion. I'm a little bit shy if you meet me, but I'm never like a dick to anybody, at least I don't think I am. And I always try and be very inclusive and cool with everybody because I know what it feels like to be, talking to a dick, and I don't ever want to be that dick. So yeah, I hope anyone that's ever met me that watches my videos can vouch for me in the comments, but I think I'm decent, and in high school, that showed. I'd say about 95 to 99% of high school, I didn't really have any problems with anyone, and the people I did have problems with, it was like a rare instance, and I've told those stories on this channel, right? But there was this one kid, this one dude in freshman year, to this day, who I had a big problem with, and you're about to hear all about it. So yeah, this all starts off like any other day in freshman year. I was in my room getting ready for school. I'd gotten ready pretty fast on this day. I was actually up relatively early compared to when I usually would get up. So I had time to kind of slowly get ready. And I remember I was in the kitchen eating cereal and I was watching Jersey Shore on my little laptop at the time. And I'm just sitting there just out of it, kind of still waking up. And I hear my bus pull up. So I quickly close my laptop, put my bowl in the sink, I go out to the bus, and I start my journey to school, right? Now on my bus, and in a few of my classes, there was this kid. We'll just call this dude Justin. Now I didn't know Justin very well. I had only ever exchanged 2 words with him up until this point. But on this day, he seemed pissed about something. So usually on my bus, to and from school, the morning and the afternoon one, we would kind of have assigned seats. And what I mean by that is everyone kind of had their friend groups on the bus, and we'd all sit with the corresponding friend groups, and we all would usually sit in the same exact seats. I'd say maybe 2 or 3 days out of the year we sat in different seats, but every other day out of the year we sat in the same seats. So when I got on the bus, I noticed that Mr. Justin was in my seat. So I walked up to my seat and I saw him and I was like, "Oh, yo man, you're in my seat." And he was like, "This isn't your fucking seat." And I was like, "All right, my bad, dude." And he was right, technically. I don't own that seat. I wasn't technically assigned it. We just all kind of had an agreement that, those were our seats. But I didn't want to press the issue on this for 2 reasons. One, I was too fucking tired to care. I didn't even feel like talking to anybody on this day. I just wanted to listen to music. And 2, he seemed like he was in a really bad mood. The way he was talking, the way he was giving me a bunch of attitude, he seemed like he was in a really bad mood. And my first guess was something maybe happened at home that morning. And I know what it's like to have a shitty morning at my house. And I don't know, I just thought, you know what, maybe he had a bad morning, maybe he's having a bad day. I'm not going to press the issue because I know what it's like to have a shitty day. So I don't want to be a dick. That was until later on that day. So about 2 or 3 hours into the school day, I had my science class, and he was in my science class. And I was there at the back of the room where I would normally sit, and he sat 2 tables in front of me. And I remember I wasn't listening. I remember that very specifically. I wasn't listening to what the teacher was saying. And my teacher did that thing that a lot of teachers do when you're not listening. And she called on me to answer a question because she knew I wasn't listening and she knew I'd get it wrong. And obviously she wanted to embarrass me and make me realize hey, I need to listen. But yeah, she called on me and she asked me "Austin, please answer this question." I don't even remember what the question was because I wasn't paying attention. But I literally said that. I was like, "I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I'm not going to know the answer to that." And she goes, "Yeah, I figured. Please pay attention." And after she said that, she moved on to ask someone else the question. And she asked Justin the question. And Justin answered it and got it right. He then turns to me, he turns his head around and looks at me after he got the question right. And he verbally says in front of the whole class, "Dumbass," to me, just cooking me. Now, the morning was one thing, right? That morning when he was being a dick to me about my seat, I didn't say shit. Because one, like I said, I was tired, and two, I didn't know if he was having a bad day. But at this point, we were far enough into the day where he shouldn't have been being a dick to me. And I was also kind of low-key pissed because the teacher heard him say that and she didn't like intervene at all and tell him to like not say shit like that to other people, when I feel like you should do that if you're a teacher. So yeah, I was annoyed, so I responded. It honestly wasn't even that great of a comeback. I think I just said something along the lines of like, watch out, Harvard, this kid got a 9th grade science class question correct. And he got a little offended when I said that. He like gave me a dirty look and he just turned around. And I thought that'd be the extent of it, right? Like I thought after this, we'd just go back to being like acquaintances, right? Like we just ride the bus together and like have a couple classes together and that was it. Nah, man, I didn't know that I just started a war with this dude. So the next day rolls around, right? And once again, I get on the bus and he's sitting in the seat that I usually sit in. But this time I can tell he was doing it to spite me, because I got on the bus and when I walked by my seat that I would usually sit in, that Justin was in, he smiled at me as I walked by. He gave me this like menacingly like devious smile. And I was just like, whatever, dude, I don't give a fuck. So I walked by, I sat down in his usual seat instead, and I just went to listening to my music like I normally would, right? Until about 5 or 10 minutes later, I feel something hit me. Like I was looking out the window to my right, just looking at like the cars driving by, and I feel something land on me. And it feels fucking cold. Like it feels like a cold, wet, not something like I want on me, right? So I like look to my left really quick to see what it is. And there was a piece of fucking ham on my left hand, bro. Deli ham. Like a motherfucker took that shit off a sandwich and threw it over to my seat and it landed on my fucking hand. I had ham on my hand and I did not want it on my hand. So I immediately throw it off and I stand up and I look around to see who like threw it and I can't see anything. And I was like, who the fuck threw ham at me? And like 3 of the kids that sit near Justin are laughing. And I see one of them kind of like point to Justin. And I walk over to him and I'm like, yo, what the fuck, man? And he goes, what? And I was like, why did you just throw fucking ham at me, dude? It's 6:30 in the morning. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. The last thing I want is your cold, wet, fucking slimy ham landing on me, bro. Like, why would you throw that at me? And I was pissed off. And he's like, I didn't throw anything, bro. I don't know what you're talking about. And I was like, okay, prove it then. Open that lunchbox right there that you have next to you and show me that there's not a ham sandwich in there, because I fucking bet there is. He goes, I'm not showing you shit. I go, exactly, because you have a sandwich in there that you took a piece of ham off of and you threw it at me. So what the fuck, dude? Like, show me. And he wouldn't, because he did. He threw it at me. And I could tell he threw it at me because someone pointed him out, right? So I'm standing there like yelling at him and he stands up and he gets in my face and the bus driver sees this and my bus driver's like, hey, sit down, like get back to your seats. So we end up splitting up because if we didn't, my bus driver would definitely report us and probably get us like detention or something. So I just went back to my seat and he sat down. And at this point I was fucking pissed, dude. Like I was tired. I was cold. Like I was like not in the mood to be messed with and I was getting food thrown at me. I was just in a pissed off mood now. So fast forward, we get to school. I go about my day as normal and I kind of calmed down at this point. Like I had kind of forgotten what had happened and I was just going to be done with it, right? I was just going to let it go. I was just going to like forget it happened and move on with my life. And once again, just try and be acquaintances with Justin and coexist. But just like before, I was fucking wrong, because fast forward to lunchtime on this day, I'm in the lunch line, right? And I'm going down the line, getting my food, and 2 people behind me is Justin, right? And we get to the point at the end of the line where they have like desserts and shit. And my school had like a slushie machine, which was pretty awesome. So I start getting a slushie, right? Because I wanted a red slushie. And I fill my cup with it, right? My little like slushie cup. And all of a sudden, I feel someone come up behind me and whack it out of my hand. And I turn around to see my slushie flying through the air, landing on the ground, and exploding. And then I see who did it. And it's fucking Justin. Now I'm angry, right? Like, you fucked with me in science class, you fucked with me on the bus, and now you're fucking with me at lunch, you're fucking with my slushie. You're coming between me and my cherry slushy, like I'm not cool with that, right? Like now I'm angry and I'm embarrassed because he did it in front of a bunch of people and they're laughing. So I'm angry, right? And now I'm like, all right, this motherfucker is going down. So I come up with an idea really quick, right? I'm like, all right, I'm going to turn around and I'm going to fill my slushy cup back up with slushy. And then I'm going to turn back around where Justin's standing and I'm going to throw it at him. And I'm going to stain his fucking nice Nike hoodie because I'm mad. So I fill my cup up with slushy. I go to turn around to throw it at him. And I see my principal standing right there, like stopping me. And my principal goes, "What are you boys doing?" And I was like, "Oh, nothing. Just, got my slushy knocked out of my fucking hand for no reason." Like, that's exactly what I said. And my principal goes, "First of all, language. Second of all, Justin, is this true? Did you knock a slushy out of his hand?" And Justin, being the little fucking villain that he is, he goes, "No, it was an accident. I was just trying to grab a cup and I bumped into him. He must think I did it on purpose, but I didn't." And my principal goes, "Austin, it was probably just an accident. Like, let it go." And everyone in the lunch line is laughing, by the way, because it wasn't a fucking accident. They were clearly like laughing because, Justin was getting away with it. So like now I'm even more furious, man. Like my slushy's on the ground. I got embarrassed. My principal didn't even see what happened and he's going to get away with it, right? And I'm just going to be, once again, shit out of luck. So I got a new slushie and then I angrily stormed to my lunch table, sat down, and just pretty much spent the whole lunch period quiet and angry and not in the mood to talk to anybody because I was just angry at what just happened. And then the next day rolled around, okay? And this is where things get interesting. So the bus ride was pretty normal. The bus ride actually wasn't too bad. Justin was just in his seat listening to music, so was I. And he was actually in his regular seat that day. He sat where he would usually sit, and I got my seat back. So I thought maybe, it was going to be the end of it. I finally thought that maybe, just maybe, shit was going to be normal. So I get to school. And just like, the bus ride, most of the day was actually pretty normal until we got to lunch again. This time, I'm in the lunch line again, and I'm in the line where you get like the tater tots or the fries. And my lunch lady was giving me some tater tots, hooking me up. And Justin is 2 people behind me again. Don't know why, but he is. And Justin sees me getting tater tots, and he goes, "Dude, do you have enough tater tots, you fat fuck?" Keep in mind, guys, I am 155 pounds, 6 foot tall. I'm a skinny fucking dude, okay? You can call me a lot of things. He could have called me a skinny motherfucker. He could have called me Slender Man. He could have called me an African stick bug. He could have called me a lot of shit, and it would have been, like, offensive to me. But calling me fat, it's like serving somebody a cheeseburger and being like, "Here, sir, here's your piece of pizza." Like, it just doesn't make any fucking sense, right? Also, by the way, Justin weighed a lot more than me, okay? Just saying that right now. Not body shaming him. I think calling people insults based on their weight is fucked up, okay? I dealt with that shit a lot throughout high school. People called me scrawny, skinny, fucking skeleton. I heard it all, okay? And I didn't like it. So yeah, I think it's fucked up. But anyway, Justin calling me fat just made no sense. So, I couldn't take it anymore, dude. I was like just so at my wit's end with this motherfucker. I looked over at him. I looked him square in the face and I said, "Justin, please shut the fuck up. You are so stupid. It bothers me. Like every time you have opened your mouth in the last 3 days, it has made me want to go to the store, buy a pack of thumbtacks, put a thumbtack under every one of my toenails and then kick a fucking wall. Like it's actually making me insane listening to you." And I just crashed out on him, dude. I went full crash out. I was so mad. I wasn't even trying to insult him. I was just letting him know how bad he had been annoying me all fucking week. And I remember everyone in the lunch line got really quiet just because of how bad I was crashing out. And it got to the point where one of the lunch ladies told me to go sit down because I was so angry. So I listened because, I didn't want to keep making a scene. So I went back to my table and I sat down. And I was just sitting there, once again, angry all lunch, right? And fast forward the rest of the school day, nothing else really happens. The bus ride home was really normal. Everything was fine, right? I get home, calm down, everything's fine. The next morning rolls around. I get on the bus, and once again, Mr. Justin is in my seat. I didn't say shit. I just walked by him. I sit down, and I'm in my seat looking out the window, listening to music. And once again, I'm looking out the window and I feel something hit me. This time it wasn't cold, it wasn't wet, but it hurt. It hurt a lot more than the piece of ham. And I looked to my left and I realized that I just got hit with a full bottle of water. Not just like a little bottle of water, like a 1 liter bottle of water. Someone threw it at me. And that shit fucking hurt. It hit me right in the knee, on my left knee. And I knew exactly who threw it because only Justin brought that brand of water every day. And it was always the 1 liter bottles. So I stood up, I grabbed the bottle, I walked up to him, and I said, "Did you just fucking throw this at me?" And he laughs and goes, "My finger slipped." And at this point, man, I was done. I uncapped the bottle and proceeded to dump a 1 liter bottle of water all over him. Now, granted, he was definitely putting up a fight while I was dumping this water on him. He kept smacking it and shit, and it was going everywhere, but it got mostly all over him. And it got so bad that my bus driver had to pull over on the side of the road and like put his like stop sign out and come over to us and like split us up because we were both just like essentially about to start throwing hands because I dumped the water on him and he was smacking it in my hand and we both were definitely about to start swinging. So he ends up splitting us up, the bus driver, right? And he takes us both to school after that and proceeds to walk us both into the principal's office directly after dropping us off to school, right? And we had to sit there in the principal's office and talk to the principal about how, like, you know, what happened. And surprisingly, the principal went pretty easy on us, right? So I only got a day of detention and all he had to do was get some new clothes. So his mom, like, pulled up and dropped off some dry clothes or something. And after that, I felt pretty good, right? I got my revenge. I thought it was over with, thought it was done. And then I go to my first period class, right? And in my first period class, I have this friend that sits next to me. We'll call him Alex, okay? Alex was the worst influence to this day out of like all of my friends. I sat down next to Alex and he asked me why I was late. And I had to explain to him that I was in the principal's office because I dumped a whole bottle of water on Justin's head. And he goes, "Oh, dude, like, fuck that kid. Like, he's been messing with you for days. Like, bro, in my opinion, you didn't do enough." And I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Bro, he fucked your slushie up. He called you fat. Like, he's been doing all this shit. Like, bro, do something else, man. Do something like just something big. One last thing to get at him. Like, you got to embarrass him like he embarrassed you in front of everybody at the lunch line." And I was like, "Bro, like what? Like, what am I going to do?" And Alex goes, "I have an idea." And he reaches into his backpack and he pulls out 2 Hershey bars, like chocolate bars. And he holds them up and he goes, "With these, we could fuck his whole day up and embarrass the shit out of him." And I was like, "What do you mean? Like, is he allergic to chocolate or something? You gonna feed him chocolate and make him like stop breathing or some shit?" Like, I hate the dude, but I don't want to kill him. He's like, No, we're not gonna do that shit, bro. Like, how fucked up do you think I am?" He's like, "No, what we're gonna do is at gym class today, when he's changing, right? And he changes out of his regular clothes into his gym clothes, we'll sneak into the locker room, right? And we'll go into his locker and we'll melt the chocolate in his pants and people will think he shit himself all day." And we both just kind of looked at each other for a second and then just got these big like smiles on our face. And yeah, man, I can't lie. I was down for it. I was like, fuck it, man. Let's do it. That's a funny prank. So that day when it was gym time, we went to the cafeteria and we microwaved the 2 Hershey bars on a plate for like 20 seconds so they were like melted. And then we went into the gym locker room with the melted chocolate and we just popped open his gym locker because the gym lockers were absolutely fucking busted. Pretty much all the lockers at my school were busted. If you just hit them hard enough, they'd pop right open. And I knew which locker was Justin's because we had the same gym class. So we popped his locker open. We proceeded to rub the melted chocolate all over the back of his like cargo pants he was wearing. And he had these like tan cargo pants. So the chocolate was very, very apparent. We also rubbed a little bit on his underwear, even though no one's going to see that. We knew he would and it'd make him mad. So we did that. And then we put the clothes back in the locker, closed it, went back to the cafeteria, got rid of the plate. And then we went back to gym and had our gym class, right? Now, after gym was over, we all went in the locker room to change back into our regular clothes. And Mr. Justin puts on his pants without looking, which made it so much funnier. Because I honestly had this worry that Justin was going to look and like see the chocolate melted and like not put the pants on and just keep his gym clothes on. But he didn't really look. So he just popped his cargo pants back on and he had this big chocolate smudge on the back of his pants. And my boy, fucking Alex, points it out in front of everyone in the gym locker room, the whole class of like 30 people. And he's like, "Yo, Justin, you shit yourself, bro?" And everyone starts fucking laughing. And Justin like grabs his pants from the back and like looks at his hand and sees the chocolate on it and he smells it. And he's like, dude, no, it's chocolate, I swear. And he starts like running up to people like, smell it, it's chocolate. And the whole fucking class is just dying. And the people that he's running up to are running away like, bro, get away from me with your shit hands. And it was just so funny. Now, after he got embarrassed to all hell, he's looking around because he wants to know who fucked with him, right? And he looks at me and Alex, and he sees me and Alex with these giant smiles on our face. And he walks up to both of us, and he goes, you fucked up one outfit of mine today, and now another one? You're fucking done. Both of you. And Alex, being the terrible influence that he is, and just being like a total fucking troublemaker, essentially, he goes, buddy, you don't want this war. Trust me. Back off now. Wave the white flag. Because my buddy Austin here might be a nice guy, but I'm not a nice guy, and I will make you want to drop out of school by the time we're done. And Justin just didn't say anything, and he just like turned around and walked away. But he had that like look on his face of like he was going to do something. So now I'm like feeling two different emotions at once, right? On one hand, I'm feeling kind of good because of like the revenge we just got. Like we definitely trolled him to the equal extent that I got trolled, you know? But on one hand, I'm also kind of like nervous now because it's like, dude, like it was kind of over. You know what I mean? Like I dumped that bottle of water on him and like that was good enough in my opinion. And then I took it like a step, further and we did that like chocolate prank. So now it's like, all right, dude, like that dude fucking hates me now. Like Justin hated me. So now I was kind of on edge because like I knew he was going to try and get back at me and we were going to have this like war essentially throughout the whole school year, right? So after this happens, right, a couple weeks go by and nothing happens. Like Justin and me are just kind of coexisting, and like things seem fine. I really don't think anything was going to happen at this point. And one day I'm in school, like I said, about 2 weeks later, and it's almost the end of the day. And on this day, my second to last period was study hall. And study hall was nice because my study hall teacher was very chill. And she would kind of just let us do what we wanted. As long as we were like kind of quiet, you could like listen to music, you could go on your phone, you could quietly chat with your friends. And study hall to me was kind of like just a period of the day where I could just chill and like decompress from, school. And yeah, I'm in study hall. And in my study hall class, I had Alex with me, the person from earlier that helped me, prank Justin. And Alex would sit next to me. And while we're in study hall, Alex looks very anxious about something. He looked like just extremely paranoid and extremely scared about something. So much that I had to ask him. I was like, yo, what's wrong with you? You look really, really nervous about something. And he goes, can you go to the bathroom? Like, you meet me in there? And I was like, sure. So Alex gets up. He walks up to the teacher, asks her if he can go to the bathroom. She says yes. I get up like 2 minutes later, ask her if I can go to the bathroom. She says yes. And I walk to the nearest bathroom and meet Alex in there. Now, upon walking in there, he's like, dude, I gotta tell you something. I'm like, please don't tell anybody. And I was like, yeah, man, I got you. Like, you know me. And he's like, bro, I have shrooms on me right now. And I was like, okay, cool. He goes, no, bro, like, not cool. I forgot that I had to stay after today. Like, I have detention with the principal. I have to sit in the principal's office with the principal. And like, I don't want to have these on me. Like, they're freaking me out. I'm scared. And I was like, well, dude, like the principal's not going to search you. Like, just be quiet, be well behaved. You'll be fine. He's like, I know. I'm an anxious dude. And like, I'm freaking out for some reason. Now, I really could have just told him to like calm down and we could have went our separate ways and things would have been fine. But me being an idiot took things a step further. And I said, hey, dude, I'll do you a favor. How about when the school day ends, you meet me back in this bathroom. We'll exchange them. I'll take them home with me. And then later today, you can just bike by my house and grab them. That way, like, you don't have to, keep them on you in the principal's office and be paranoid. And he's like, oh, you would do that? I'm like, yeah, bro, I got you. He's like, thank you. Now, before I continue, never do that. Like, there was no reason for me to get involved like this, but I chose to. Anyway, yeah, so fast forward to the end of the school day, like one more period, class ends, the bell rings, I go into the bathroom with Alex. We quickly look around, make sure no one's in the stalls and is going to see this. And he pulls the shrooms out, he hands them to me, and I go to start putting them in my pocket. And it's like life was just fucking trolling me. Because I go to put them in my pocket and it falls out. Like I missed. So I go to bend down to pick them up. And as I'm picking them up off the ground, guess who walks into the bathroom and sees me grabbing these and putting them in my pocket? None other than Justin, the man that I had many issues with just a couple weeks prior and definitely didn't like me still, right? And he sees me putting these in my pocket and he goes, "What's that, man? What are you putting in your pocket?" And I just lied. I was like, "Oh, just some goldfish." And Justin goes, "Really? Because like you're not the type of dude to be eating goldfish. I don't see you ever snacking on anything, really. So I don't think that's goldfish." And I was like, "Justin, mind your business, dog, please." And he goes, "Nah, I don't think I'm going to mind it. I think I'm going to not mind my business. What is that stuff?" And I was like, "Dude, I'm not telling you. Fuck off." And he goes, "Tell me or I'm going to go snitch on you. Those are your two choices. Like, I'll snitch or you can just tell me and I just want to know and I'll leave you alone." Now, I don't know why, but for some reason I believed him. So I thought, okay, they're shrooms. And he goes, "Damn, in school? That's crazy." And I was like, "Yep, just holding them for a homie, dude." And he goes, "Yeah, for Alex?" And Alex goes, "Yeah, Justin, can you fuck off now?" And Justin smiles, once again, real deviously, like he did before. And he goes, "Okay, I'll fuck off now." And he turns around and he walks out the bathroom door. Now, I just had a feeling. I just knew he was going upstairs to snitch on us and tell the principal everything. So I needed to get on my bus fast, because the faster I got on my bus, the faster my bus would leave, and I could maybe, get home before my principal or security comes and finds me and takes me to the principal's office and holds me after school, right? So I dapped Alex up. I said, "Peace." He said, "Good luck." I proceeded to speed walk as fast as I possibly fucking could all the way to my bus, got on the bus, sat in the back, and I just hoped that everybody else would get on quickly and we could leave as fast as possible before my principal came out looking for me, right? And like 2 minutes after I sat down in the back of the bus, I see my principal and 2 security guards come out of my school and they're like looking around, right? And I just knew. I was like, "Oh, they're looking for me. I'm fucked." Now, after I see them look around for about 20 seconds, I see my principal point to my bus and the security guards start going towards it. And that's what I knew. It was over, man. It was over. I was screwed. It was done. The security guards proceeded to get to my bus. One of them then stepped on my bus and said, "We need to take Austin with us. Austin, please come with us." And I had to get up, get off the bus, and start walking with them back into school. Now, that walk of shame from my bus to the school was a very long one. My bus parked in the very back of the bus line, so I had plenty of time to just think and feel defeated. And while I was on that long walk of shame with the 2 security guards on each side of me and my principal in front of me, I saw Justin out of the corner of my eye walking by me to the buses, and he looks at me and he makes eye contact. And he gives me that smile of like, "Ha, you're fucked. I told on you." Like that look of like, "You're an idiot. I'm not," that kind of thing. And I just got pissed. And I had an idea. Not a very good one, because I was already caught. Like, I already knew I was going to get in trouble. But I thought, you know what? Maybe if I just turn around and I run as fast as I can into the woods behind my school, I can ditch the shrooms back there and then like come back. And, I'll still get in trouble for running, but they won't find them on me, and I'll be okay, right? So I did. I turned around and I fucking darted as fast as I could, right through the 2 security guards, because they were standing on left and right of me, but the back was kind of open, just barely, but they were kind of like closed in a little bit, so I had to like kind of sneak through them. So I ran through them. I ran as fast as I could. They did chase me, and so did my principal. But I ran way faster, luckily. I don't know if I could outrun them now, because I haven't ran in a long time. But back then, I was fast as hell, fast as fuck, boy. So I ran as fast as I fucking could through the soccer field, into the woods, and I just ran and I ran and I ran until I lost them. Now, after I lost them, I proceeded to take out the shrooms. And I don't know what got into me, but like I started second guessing like all the ways to get rid of these. Because like, I could throw them. I could put them in a tree, because there was like trees with holes in them. I could just put them in a tree. I could bury them, with my hands, but then I'd have dirt all over my hands and it'd probably be obvious what I did. I could, throw them in a puddle. I could eat them. I'm thinking of all these things, right, to try and get rid of them. But then it hits me. I'm like, fuck, dude, if I get rid of these, I'm going to owe my friend money. Because like, it wasn't a small amount. I mean, it wasn't a large amount either, but like, it was going to be money if I threw these away. So I called up Alex while I'm in the woods, right? And he answers, and I'm like, "Yo, principal and the security came to get me. They were like, escort me into school. I ran. Now I'm in the woods with your shrooms. Like, what do I do right now, bro? Like, if I throw these away, am I gonna have to owe you money? Like, what do you want to do?" And he's like, "Dude, like, don't worry about the money. Like, just get rid of them." And I was like, "What should I do? Like, I don't know how to get rid of them. Like, what if I like leave them in here and then they find them?" He's like, "Dude, that's a lot of woods. Like, they're not gonna find them." I was like, yeah, bro, like, what if they bring dogs out or something? He's like, bro, they're not going to fucking bring dogs out. Like, you'll be fine. And I was like, I don't know, man. I'm just paranoid. He's like, well, you could eat them. And I was like, nah, I don't know if it's a good idea, man. He's like, bro, like, if you eat them, like, it's going to take a while to kick in. Even if you get caught, like, you won't trip in school. You'll be home by the time you start tripping. And I was like, oh, shit. So I don't know why. This just proves how stupid I was back in the day. But I did that. I ate them. I could have just buried them and no one would have probably ever found them for the rest of my life, right? Like, no one's in those woods looking. But I ate them because I thought, you know what? Like, what's the worst that could happen? Yeah, I'm an idiot, okay? So I eat them, and at this point, I have two choices. I go back to school and I, face the repercussions of my actions, or I just try and go home. And getting home was not going to be easy because I lived very far away and I had no ride, and walking would take hours. So I decided to go back to school. I went back to school. My principal was there waiting for me as soon as I walked in the front doors with the school cop. And they took me into the principal's office. They called my mom, told her about the complaint they received saying I had shrooms on school property, and then I ran away when they tried to catch me. Basically, making me look guilty. My mom then proceeded to say, search him. And they did. They searched me, but they didn't find anything because, they were in my belly, so couldn't find shit. Oh, and the bag, by the way, the bag was in the woods. So, yeah. But anyway, they proceeded to sit me down at the desk and start asking me questions, stuff like, why did you run from us? Like, there's no reason to run unless you, were hiding something. Like, what's going on? Like, tell us the truth. And I'm just sitting there quietly, not answering any of their questions. I knew I was fucked regardless, dude. Even if I was honest with them or I lied to them, whatever happened, I knew I was screwed. Running away from them like that, it made me look so guilty. But anyway, my principal proceeds to tell me that I'm being suspended again because I ran away from them when they asked me to come with them. And, that's valid because you're not supposed to run away when they tell you to, come to the principal's office. So they ended up giving me a similar suspension to the first one. I think I got 2 days out of school suspension and 2 days in school, which honestly surprised me. I thought it was going to be way longer because I had just been suspended. And this was arguably much worse than what I had done before. Before I dumped some water on someone, but this was a lot worse. But yeah, they didn't go beyond 4 days because I think they just didn't have proof that I had, mushrooms on me. Even though they knew that I had them on me, they couldn't prove it concrete. So they just hit me with the, you can't run away from us. You're getting suspended. Anyway, yeah, they suspended me for 4 days. My mom was then on the way to pick me up, and I started feeling weird. I remember, right after they said that my mom was on the way, I started feeling very, very strange. Not like I was tripping strange, but my stomach felt tingly, kind of strange, uncomfortable. And I was like, that's weird, my stomach feels off. And then it gets worse, and worse, and worse. And I'm sitting in this principal's office, the school cop's in there, the principal's in there, they're staring at me, and they can see that I look uncomfortable. And my principal goes, what's wrong? Why do you look like that? And I was like, nothing. And he's like, are you sure? You sure you don't have to go to the nurse's office or something? And I just literally sat there quietly, looking down at the ground because I just felt really weird. And my stomach, out of nowhere, just took a turn for the worst, and I knew I had to throw up. I was like, oh shit, I gotta puke. So I looked at my principal and I was like, okay, I have to go to the nurse's office. And he's like, what's wrong? And I was like, I have to throw up. He goes, okay, all right, let's go. And I go to stand up, but right after I stood up, I felt it coming right now, and I was like, all right, I gotta go now, I gotta puke. So I went to go for the garbage can in my principal's office, and it was too late, man. It had to come out right then and there. I could not make it to the garbage. So I proceeded to throw up on accident all over my principal's desk, all over the papers, the pencils, just everywhere. And it's really gross, but you could see the mushrooms on the desk. Granted, my principal probably thought it was just regular chewed up food or something, but to me, I knew what they were. And I was just thinking to myself yo, I can't believe I just puked mushrooms all over my principal's desk. Anyway, my principal looked very upset. I remember on the way to the nurse's office when I was getting escorted there, I looked at my principal's face and they just looked so mad. But it was too late. What's done was done. I said sorry. That's all I could do. Anyway, I went to the nurse's office. My nurse, she was really cool. She just let me lay down for a little bit till my mom got there. And my mom showed up and I got driven home. and I got grounded for a very long time. I can't even remember how long it was. I think it was like 3 months. And I remember just being like embarrassed as fuck the whole way home. I also remember my mom in the car asking me like if I ate mushrooms because I threw up in the principal's office, because obviously my principal told her. And I was like, no. And she's like, yeah, you did. And I was like, no, I didn't. And she's like, yeah, you did. And I just couldn't even lie. I was like, okay. And I got grounded for that as well. But anyway, after this, you're probably wondering what happened with Justin, your arch enemy, the one that, told the principal and the one you had beef with for that period of time. Honestly, man, after this shit went down and I was done, being suspended, I didn't really want to get back at him because I didn't want to get suspended a third time, because a third time probably would have resulted in me getting like kicked out of school. So I just kind of like bit my tongue and kind of, didn't do shit. And honestly, like 2 months later, karma kind of did it for me, because Justin ended up getting kicked out of school, not just suspended, like expelled, because he brought pills to school like 2 months later. So yeah, that like very thing that he told the principal on me for, like, the fact that I had shrooms on me and I was, holding them for my friend, he essentially went a couple months later and did something even worse. So he got expelled and I never saw Justin again. So yeah, that's the conclusion on Mr. Justin. But yeah, in this story time, I learned a lot of lessons. Number one, I should have just left the prank war with Justin, or whatever that was, alone, to be honest. Even though I was pissed off, I should have just let it go. Number two, I don't have to always be the hero, okay? Like Alex being in that problem with the shrooms and stuff. I should have just left that alone too. And number three, I don't know, man. I should have just paid attention in school more. Yeah, guys, moral of this story is just don't do any of the things I talked about in this story. And honestly, on this channel in general, laugh at my mistakes. Don't make them. But yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed it. Definitely a long one. I know you guys like the long stories, so leave a like. If you guys keep supporting these long stories, I'll keep doing them. Feel free to leave your story times in the comments down below. And subscribe if you're new. I'll see you all later. Peace.